We have women from most parts of the Israeli political map, women from all over Israel, again, Arabs and Jews and secular and religious, and even women living in settlements. So we demand beginning of negotiations, and we demand the active involvement of women in the process in its entirety. We're basing our demand on Resolution 1325 of the UN Security Council from the year 2000, who says that women need to take part in peace negotiations, in conflict resolutions, because when women are around the table, the agreements are achieved more quickly. And more importantly, they are more inclusive, they're more sustainable. They deal with the issues relating not only to borders and control and who's going to be the president, but also education and welfare and health and the security in its wide sense, not only the military sense.
I suppose Vivian really was the embodiment of your mission.
Vivian was one of the most prominent activists and volunteers in Women Wage Peace. She came to the movement with a vast experience and knowledge about peace activism, about shared society, about cross-border activities, about managing NGOs. She was one of my mentors, and I learned from her really a lot. And we all did. She was brilliant. She was very sharp. She kept challenging us with those difficult questions, with her comments, which made everything better. If you ask me what's the biggest achievement of Vivian is teaching us, passing it forward to us so we can continue her work, may be the greatest achievement because it's lasting now.
The world was shocked, double shocked at her death, and we're even more double shocked now when it seems like on both sides there's no openness. A negotiating table doesn't seem to be an option. So what to you is peace still possible, and what makes you think that it is?
So another achievement of Vivian is not giving up on hope for peace. She has been a peace activist for decades. I don't know if you had a chance to hear what her son, Jonathan, was saying about her. She was right. She was right in believing that it's possible. She was right in believing that it's crucial. And for us, this is what we take from here. We continue her work. We continue her vision. We know that it's possible. We know that it's more crucial than ever, our mission. It became even more urgent because we know that the concept of managing the conflict has collapsed. This is the most harsh evidence that we cannot go on managing the conflict and it needs to be resolved. Everything is very confusing. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how the war is going to end, when it's going to end. But what we do know is that we need to achieve peace. For us, it's even clearer than ever.
What are the routes that you think? What solutions are possible? What routes are you taking to achieving peace?
So we're still not suggesting any particular solution. But what we say, and again, we said it before October 7th, and we keep saying it now even louder, we need, Israel and the world needs to strengthen the moderate forces and connect to them and partner with them. Because there are many moderate forces in the region and in the world, including our countries, the Abraham Accords countries, that can take part in promoting negotiations between Israelis and the Palestinians towards peace. What needs to be done is to join forces with all those moderate forces, again, in the region and in the world, and to begin negotiations. And it's possible. We saw it happening in many conflicts in the past, in Colombia, in Northern Ireland, in Liberia. It's possible. It needs to happen here as well. We're an Israeli movement working with the Israeli public and Israeli decision makers. And for us, we turn to the Israeli government, the Israeli policymakers and Israeli public saying we need to take courageous actions to bring this conflict, this war to an end and begin peace negotiations. Okay, we're dreamers because only dreamers make change and make history, but we're not naive. We know it's going to take time. We take responsibility on working with the public and convincing the public that peace is crucial, peace is possible, and it needs to happen now, because if we wait, the conflict keeps being managed, then the next time will be even worse than what happened on October 7th. So for us, this is what we say. The day after the war is actually yesterday. We need to begin now.
How do you galvanize the pacifist movements, and what role can pacifists have at this very moment?
At this moment, we work vis-a-vis Israeli public. We work also with the world, but to influence Israeli public opinion. Who say that we believed in peace, we thought it was possible, we wanted peace, but now we don't think it's possible. And everyone wants to kill us, and this is the proof. And there are many, many Israelis who feel this way now. So this is our mission, to open those cracks in Israeli public, to regain confidence and belief that peace is possible. Again, very, very difficult these days, but this is our mission. On our part, on Women Wage Peace part, we don't, of course, we won't form any political party, because we insist on remaining non-partisan, because this is the way to engage with the diverse communities, diverse public in Israel. So we won't establish a party, we won't join any other party, but we will encourage any party, and this is something that we've done. We had 5 rounds of elections during the past few years. So in each and every round, we say that we support anyone who promotes peace, and they will be obligated to begin negotiations. We will endorse them, not as a party, but as the peace promoters. For us, this is
actually
exactly, yes. So this is what and what we're saying. Why we're doing it, why we're focused on peace. What we're saying is that peace will provide a security that everyone is looking for and needs and deserves. And peace will result in economic flourishing of Israel. We saw it happening in 1978, and we saw it happening in 1993. We saw it happening. We know that peace will achieve. Will be able to promote prosperity for in almost every realm of Israeli life. And this is why we want peace, because we know that going on from one war to another won't provide a security that everyone needs.
And I was wondering, how is the balance of power shifted after this war? Moderate forces versus Netanyahu, where are we now?
So it's very difficult to say, because different polls, they point to different directions. There is an organization named Accord, specializing in social psychology. They had a survey in which they found out that more Israelis now are open to the idea of resolving the conflict with a peaceful solution. Until October 7th, most Israelis, even those who wanted peace, said, okay, peace is great, but there's no partner on the other side, or I can live also with the current situation, because for most Israelis, the conflict was not, they didn't live the conflict on the daily basis. Now, many Israelis says, okay, something needs to happen. So some Israelis, and this is what the court found, some Israelis said, okay, we're open to think about a political agreement. And you see the media beginning to, and the politicians beginning to talk about political agreement. Whether to end this war, whether or as a one stepping stone on the way to more comprehensive and more long-lasting agreement. But on the other hand, many Israelis became more extreme to the other side, saying that stop talking to me about peace. There is no option. This is the proof that we got. No one, they all want to kill us. Even the uninvolved ones want to kill us. There's no, I'm quoting what I'm hearing from the public, and even from my friends and my family.
Is the word ceasefire. Obviously, I'm not asking you whether this could be the solution for you, but do you see that being possible this time?
We don't call for stopping the war or stopping the fighting, because we don't know if we stop the fighting now, if Israel will be safe enough. We don't know it, really. So we want a humanitarian ceasefire in order to secure all hostages and return them home, and make sure that Gazan civilians are being taken care of. And this is for us. So we're not calling for the immediate stop of the war. Again, this can change. And what I'm saying is the current policy and current messages of Women Wage Peace, because it changes on a daily and weekly basis. So this is what we want. This is a ceasefire that we aim for. What happens next? Again, begin talking, not just stopping the war, but begin the process of resolving this conflict and ending this war with a horizon.
You are collaborating with the Women of the Sun, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how you collaborate together, and are they based? Where are they based?
Their offices in Bethlehem, and they have activists across mostly around Bethlehem, but also across the West Bank and also in Gaza. They have about 2,500 activists in the West Bank and about 300 in Gaza. And again, we don't know in Gaza. We know that at least some of the activists were killed with their families, but others remain. And we collaborate with them for the past 2 years, or a little bit more than 2 years. Officially, publicly, we announced our partnership in March 2022. The people in the region, we need leaders, and we need the world to support our call for this to happen. We talk together, and we don't disregard the horrors, we don't disregard the pain and the fear, but from this, sharing and talking to each other about what's happening on both sides, we say that from this we grow the stronger partnership and stronger mission to end it, because it's unbearable.
Are you able to talk to them? They're still active, and obviously not in Gaza, I suppose.
Not in Gaza, and unfortunately we cannot meet. I mean, the most I always say that I can have these photos from talking on stage and marching in Jerusalem, but for me the most profound moments in my way is when I sit with Marwa, my colleague from Women of the Sun, and we sit together in their office and working on an Excel sheet, planning the budget for the project, because we know this is how you make peace. So we keep doing it, but on Zoom, because we cannot meet now. They cannot enter Israel, and we cannot go there. And but we've been in touch, in constant contact since the beginning of the war. And now what we're doing now mostly is working on this very big project. We're going to have a training program for 4 groups, and on both sides, 2 groups on each side. One group on each side will be of religious and traditional leaders, community leaders, and one of environmental activists. Because what we know is that religion and environment they have a crucial role in peace building. So we're going to have a training program for those women who can then be ambassadors of peace in their communities and organizations. We have supporters and friends in many parts of the world. The interest that everyone shows now in peace in this region, in women wage peace, it's because of the war and because of the death of Vivian. And it's tragic that we had to come to this point to gain attention, both in the region and in the world. But we say, okay, so it's also an opportunity for us to expand our reach and expand our impact. So we're having more and more calls from women all over the world saying, we want to be with you, we want to help, how can we help? And we're saying there are many ways, okay? So you can spread the word, you can say, because you hear all over the world, it's very polarized. You hear demonstrations pro-Israel or pro-Palestine. And we're saying, stop thinking in this polarization way. Begin talking about pro-peace or pro-women. Because when you talk about pro-Israel, pro-Palestine, it means the defeat of the other side. And we don't want any casualties. We don't want victims. We don't want the defeat. We want to live together in peace. So spread the word. There are many on both sides who want peace and work for it. So spread the word. The word in the world, it's very important. Of course, we need resources because it's very difficult to promote peace. We're looking for donations as well. So this is how the international community can help, but also the international political community needs to begin. I wouldn't say pressure. I don't want to say pressure, because pressure does not lead to any good results, but endorse, facilitate, promote this partnership with the moderate, gather the moderate forces and show everyone that it's possible. We have many people, many leaders that we can work with. So this is our pledge to the international community.
And the university.
And also, just to say, we were nominated to the.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the University of Amsterdam have nominated you.
Yes, it was it was a very nice surprise and very moving. We just had last week. We had the university had the ceremony of announcement and see what's going to happen. I mean, the chances for winning, for actually receiving the prizes are very low. But even being nominated, first of all, it's an acknowledgement of what we're doing, and it can help us again spreading the word that we're doing it, and it's possible that we want it, and we hope that it will give hope and motivation for everyone in the region and the world to put efforts in this, because it is possible, it's necessary.
Good luck, Yael, and thank you ever so much for this.